Welcome to the Emotional Logic podcast series. Emotional Logic is an award-winning market research agency that uses behavioral science to deliver better consumer insight. This episode looks at why you should not test packaging in a focus group.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Oxenham. I work at Emotional Logic and I'm here today with Annette Pesha to discuss how best to approach packaging testing.
Hi, how are you? And thanks very much for joining us.
I think we all know how critical good packaging is for all products, from food and drink to technology. But what is the best way to develop effective packaging? How can you make sure that your packaging will attract and convert shoppers?
Well, the easiest thing to do is to simply mock up some packs, show them to consumers and get their views, either in a survey or a focus group. Just ask them what they think of the packaging.
I think that's still quite a widespread practice and it's convenient and gives you quick results. So what's actually wrong with doing that?
Well, the problem is that asking people what they consciously think of your packaging is completely different to how a pack actually works. First, your pack has less than 2 seconds to attract shoppers' attention, and that process is mostly unconscious. And secondly, even though your pack should convey some conscious cues, for example, what the product is, the shopper's unconscious mind also reads some of the cues from the colors, the styles of the pack, for example, whether it's a premium product.
So a focus group researches the conscious mind, while an effective pack mostly works with the unconscious mind.
Exactly. Consumers tend to overthink things when they evaluate packs consciously, while in real life, people simply react within seconds. It is important that your pack test involves the unconscious mind of the consumer, otherwise you could get it quite wrong.
What would be a better way to research packaging then? How can you measure those unconscious effects?
Well, the emotional logic test measures how well your pack attracts attention, how it engages the viewer, and how well it converts the shoppers to buy. We use a combination of eye tracking, product selection tests, and a specially developed conjoint analysis to measure those factors, all in one simple online survey.
So how does it work exactly?
Let's first have a look at attracting attention. Context drives attention. You can have a beautiful pack when it's seen by itself, but once it's on the supermarket shelf, it might not be visible. Shelf position and neighboring products have a huge impact on the amount of attention that a pack can receive.
So let's say that the pack has got the shopper's attention. How do you get people to pick it up from the shelf?
Well, that's all about getting key messages across quickly, and also about visual appeal of the pack. For example, using icons, you can get key benefits about the product across much faster than using a list of words. But it's also about unconscious messages that your pack sends out through the colors, the fonts, pictures. It can say, I'm a premium product, I am stylish, I am healthy, all without words. The emotional logic pack test measures not only how well your pack communicates those things, but also how it does it, specifically which elements of the pack work and which don't.
This is the thing that's often missing in focus groups or regular surveys. People say, I like this pack, or it looks not upmarket enough, but they can't tell you exactly why. The key thing that you need to know in order to improve it. So emotional logics tests can do that?
Yes, it clearly shows where the perception of healthy or stylish comes from, so the design agency can dial this up or down as needed.
All of this is really, really interesting, but how about sales? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how engaged the pack is, it's got to shift sales.
Well, that's the other issue that I have with simply asking consumers. Research has shown that people saying, I will buy this product, is not actually a very accurate way of estimating sales. This is why we use especially the adapted conjoint module to predict sales. Of course, nobody can predict future sales exactly, as there are so many different factors that impact, but this approach has been proven to get us closer to a more realistic sales estimate.
So with all of this advanced methodology, I'm guessing that emotional logics test is much more expensive than just traditional methods?
No, not at all. If you're currently testing in focus groups or you're doing online tests, our costs are completely on par. And because it's a modular approach, you only pay for the elements that you really want to measure.
When you're still developing the pack, you could test shelf attention for several options, and later on, when you have the final pack, measure sales levels, for example. Or you could do it all at the same time. Would you say then packaging should never be tested in a focus group?
No, I wouldn't say that. Focus groups deliver some good information. For example, if your pack doesn't make it clear what the product is or the design is really not appealing, a focus group will give you some of that information. Just you have to be clear that this is only a very small part of whether your pack will actually work once you launch it. Emotional Logic's tools simply increase your certainty and also give you more detailed advice on how to improve and refine your packaging.
That is very interesting, but I think time's up for today, Annette. We hope that you have all found today's discussion really interesting and helpful. And for more hints and advice, subscribe to our podcast series now and then watch out for future podcasts on how to get closer to real consumer behaviour.